live.
Hi, everybody.
A little late.
Sorry we're late. Yeah, so did you see that,
We know who I'm rooting for.
I see. I actually want to see Boston win.
You know what's funny? Well, why do you want to see Boston win?
I don't know, to be honest with you. I'm not a St. Louis guy at all. So I'm like, I'm like, in this case, I don't care if Boston wins. Let them have another title. It's only been, 100 days since their last one?
Right. Well, it was funny because we had this. I actually had this conversation today at work. We were talking about the NBA Finals.
Right.
And I said, I don't want to see Toronto win. And they're like, why? One, they beat my team. And two, I'm like, I like Golden State. I like watching history being made.
Right.
And I was like, but I was just like when it comes to football. If the Eagles aren't in it, I'd love to see Tom Brady win another ring.
Right.
Absolutely. They were like, why? I'm like, just the ear, it's because you're watching history. You're really watching history being made.
Right.
With that, but I mean, come on, the Bruins, the Patriots just won, the Red Sox just won. I'm over it.
See, I've always liked. For some reason, I've always liked Boston. Always did. I always liked watching them play. Oh, I forgot. That's right. There we are. Mute. It's bad enough I gotta hear you right next to me. I don't want to hear anything.
I hear you. I'm not disagreeing with
you. Yeah, so, apparently while I was away, in Atlantic City, just a few short casinos away from me, Double Herrera decides to, beat up his girlfriend.
What an idiot.
I was like, oh, man. I said, that's amazing. I got that report. I was, one of the few times I actually turned my phone on while we were away. Literally, first thing that popped up on my phone, I was like, are you kidding me? I was like, oh, here we go. My girlfriend's like, what's going on? And I went, one of the Phillies just beat up his girlfriend down the street. I didn't know what to say. She's like, oh, that's awesome. I said, yeah, really good. Oh, look at the dog on the TV. That's too funny. They got a dog in the locker room?
That's a big-ass dog.
That is a big dog.
Dog looks bigger than Emmerich.
That's a puppy, too. Well, that's a puppy.
Maybe that's their mascot.
Yeah. Oh, look how little he is. Well, there he is. He's rolling around on the floor. He's a cute dog.
All right, chill out.
I love dogs.
Clearly. We know.
Yeah, that is their mascot. I wonder who takes them home at night. They let them just run around the stadium.
Yeah, right. Leaving stuff, leaving droppings everywhere.
Where's Gloria tonight? Where's she at?
Right. We better clean her shit out. Literally.
Oh, man. Yeah, but I saw the Major League Baseball extended Herrera's leave of absence for 2 more weeks. I doubt he plays for the Phillies again.
I don't know. It's bad, supposedly. And like I said, if he did it, he's got to go.
Yeah. Yeah, there's no other way to. You can't get around that. I mean, it's like a Kareem Hunt, Ray Rice. You can't get around that, especially when the report says that there's visible marks on the girl and everything like that. I saw the one report today where it showed she scratches on her arms and I think stuff around her neck. I was like, that's awesome.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
What?
No, I'm just saying him.
Yeah,
I don't understand it. How hard is it? Like I said, we don't know the story.
Right.
But how hard is it? Don't hit your woman.
Yeah.
Knock it off.
Yeah, there's no reason for that. And I hate that too. I can't stand that. I'm the type of dude, if I see a guy smacking his girl around, I just go right for the guy. I can't stand that. I hate it.
Yeah.
You need a Tuukka Rask jersey up in that piece.
Who said that?
Derek Steven.
Yeah. He's a Boston guy. He's a.
I actually do like Tuukka Rask. Like, I don't know, there was always
I
something.
got no problem with
There was actually something about Boston I liked growing up. You know, it was just one of those things. I mean, I'm not going to say, like, I rooted for them. I just, you know, if I saw that they won, I'm like, oh, that's cool. You know, I was like, never, I don't know, I guess, well, back then, I mean, they were always decent in hockey. Even when they were bad, they were always, like, kind of that team where people would always want to, well, not people, but people, well, actually, people would. They would look at them and be like, all right, let's see what Boston does. They're always that one, they're always a name. They're always in the mix, no matter if they're good or bad. So, I mean, like, which is funny to say, but they always have, their name's always there. Oh, man.
No, but I'm definitely rooting for St. Louis.
Yeah, not me. I can't stand them. Like, I actually got...
Why?
Like,
Why
I
can't
thought
you stand them? What did they do?
never like St. Louis. It's a crap town. I don't
That's a crap town?
I don't like St. Louis. Screw 'em. I don't want to get into it. I don't like St. Louis. I don't know. I just never did. Well, I have to admit, I started to laugh. I was like, okay, so it's the first time in like 50 years, you know, that they've been in the finals. I thought it was kind of funny, you know, that they're playing the Bruins again, who swept them the last time. When St. Louis lost the first game, I started laughing. I was like, they can't beat these guys. I was like, crap. Let alone tonight they're winning 2-1, but...
Yeah, they got smacked around in Game 3.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I definitely like... Well, I don't know. There's something about, I don't know, it's Boston in hockey. Always liked them. Don't know why. Can't explain it. Like I said, didn't actively root for them, but I just can't explain it.
It's fine. Everyone has their own thing.
Yeah.
You can't, you know... That's your thing.
The only good thing about St. Louis is the barbecue.
Yeah.
I'll give them that. That is good. That is good. And then food's a good way to my heart, that's for sure. But screw St. Louis. So...
It's funny. So, the basketball game last night. Iguodala coming out with another clutch 3.
Ah, jeez. Yeah. Well, it was funny, too, you know, because it was like, the first game, I thought, my God, these guys are completely nothing without KD. Like, out of nowhere. Like, I thought the way they played, but then I was like, all right, they're going to bounce back, though. I was like, it's Golden State. They're just going to bounce back. It's what they're going to do.
Right.
And then, I mean, I thought they showed a lot, you know, especially with Thompson going out with his hamstring, and they still came back and well, not came back, but I mean
they held on.
Yeah, they held on and they won the game. So I was like, okay, that showed what they got as a team. You know, like you said, Iggy coming off the bench doing his thing. I still think they win the series. I mean, like, you know, I've been saying that against about every team that's been playing Toronto, but yet they're in the finals. But
listen, I had this talk at work today. Toronto's maybe the 5th best seed if they're in the West.
Yeah.
I mean, they probably beat Houston and Portland. Portland got exposed because they were small.
Right.
But I don't know.
Yeah, and what's it called? There's reports now that Sixers are close to re-signing Butler for that 5-year max.
Please do.
Yeah, and he tweeted out or put something out on Instagram.
He was coming back then.
Yeah,
He was coming back to
east.
Philly. He was coming back to East Coast.
So, I mean, yeah, so people were like, well, does that mean he's coming back to Philly? And I'm like, well, I kind of hope so. And if he does come back here, they're moving on from Tobias Harris.
No, they're not. Absolutely not.
You don't think so?
No. I think they signed them both.
See, I'm starting to think that they move on from Harris. I think they go after somebody else.
The trade was the right move, but they legit gave up too much to not try and sign him. Just to give up on him.
Well, we'll see. I mean, I don't know. There's a lot of reports about it now where people are thinking, you know, like they're just going to cough that one up and move on from him. So we'll see what happens, though.
So who are you going to move into the shooting position?
I don't know. I don't know. I mean, I don't know who's going to be available for that position.
I disagree. I think they signed them both. Yeah. Question brought up today.
What's that?
Is Andre Iguodala a Hall of Fame basketball player?
Well, with the way the NBA is, he probably is. With the way that with the way the game is
And remember,
today.
there's two Hall of Fames. There's the Basketball Hall of Fame and there's the NBA Hall of Fame. Do you think he's a Hall of Fame. In your opinion, do you think he's do you think he is?
He's one of those role players, man. He found the right situation. I mean, and he's put up really good numbers ever since. I mean, I don't think he was terrible when he was here. It just was a bad situation for him.
I mean, he was playing with D-League players.
Yeah, so I mean, you put him on a team that's, got NBA players, and look what he can do. He's effective. So I mean,
he's a sixth man. He's a
sixth man, and he's in the perfect role on the perfect team for that position. The guy's been a Finals MVP. Yeah, he's going to get the nod for it, I think.
All right, so I think he's Hall of Fame. This is my opinion. He's got 3 NBA championships. He's got the NBA Finals MVP, and he's got a gold medal.
Yeah, he'll be. I don't see why he wouldn't. Yeah, I don't see why, to be honest with you. So, yeah, I could see it. I believe he's a Hall of Famer, which is sort of funny to say, but yeah, I do. I believe it.
Yeah, I mean, give me 1 second, guys. Whoever, the 3 people that are watching. Yeah. I mean, like I said, I liked him when he was here, but like you said, he had no one to play with. Yeah, after they got rid of AI,
yeah,
they tried to make him the new AI.
Yeah, they tried to make him the franchise, and he's not that player. But yeah, no, I mean, he's got the credentials of being a Hall of Fame, so why not?
So, yeah, I think Golden State wins in 6. I actually think they go. I think they win both games at home.
When does KD come back?
He's not. He's not coming back.
Because I heard they were talking like he could possibly, and I was like, all right, they're saying the possible stuff. So if they're saying possible, that doesn't sound too good. They're not going to need him, to be honest with you. They're really not. And that just shows you how good they are with their depth. So.
Well, considering everyone's starting to get hurt.
Yeah. So, alright, so he doesn't come back. That spells the end of him in Golden State. He's gonna take off. I can totally see that happening. But yeah, back to what you said. I do. I believe AI he's a Hall of Famer. Or AI or 2.0.
Yeah, it's not. It's like I said, it's not a bad. It's not a bad. Whatchamacallit. It's not a bad nod to get. It's really not.
No.
Slow. We're just a slow sports week. So, does Zeke get suspended?
You know what? I don't know.
I'm saying he doesn't. I don't think he did anything wrong. But then again, I'm not the commissioner of the football league.
Yeah, I'm not sure. I don't think he does. Yeah, I really don't think he does get suspended. I don't. Like, I agree with you. I don't think he did anything wrong. The guy that he pushed over or walked into, all he wants is an apology. I was like, that's all you want? I'd cash in on that.
Right.
I'd have a new home. Thank you, Zeke. By the way, now you have to hold out.
Right.
I would sue him so fast, and then I could see it now. Local man sues Zeke Elliott for pushing him over. Says he only did it to force him to hold out. I would so do that. I'd be like, pay me or I'm suing you. Now you gotta hold out. I'm an Eagles fan. Fly, Eagles, fly, bitch.
Right. Like me, I don't want to see him get suspended, but then again, I could care less. You know, if he gets suspended, that just makes my team's better chances of winning.
Yeah.
For the season.
Yeah, I mean,
said it before. I still think Carson Wentz is going to be a top 3 player this year. I think he's going to be in the MVP talks. You know, it's just my opinion.
Yeah, I mean, so far
they're saying he looks good in training camp. I know it's training camp. Yeah, and they're showing like all these like passes, these lobs to like Deshaun Jackson, and like that he's throwing over corners' heads, and they're nice throws.
Yeah,
but that's
yeah.
No, I want to see. The first play of preseason. If those two don't go deep, I'll be very disappointed.
It needs to be like when it was McNabb and T.O.
on the very first play.
Very first play. He's got to show it. He's got to do it. Got to go to Jackson.
You got to welcome. That will be Deshaun's welcoming back to Philly.
Yeah. Yep.
For the way he left, well, not that it was his fault, but for the way he left, that's
Yeah.
like welcome back. The town is now yours.
Yeah, like I mean, I see that when they let him go, just let him go.
For nothing.
Well, I mean that was Chip Kelly. Let's put it that way. But at that point, like I remember when that happened, and I thought, okay, so wait a second. Lurie's letting this guy just let him go. Not even going to try and trade him.
I don't know what he did.
He just didn't like the people that he hung around with. That's what it was. I mean, maybe that's what he sold Jeffrey Lurie on. That the people that he didn't.
Listen. There's nothing you can say about Chip Kelly. He duped us all. He
did.
duped us all. He duped us all into thinking that Sam Bradford was an NFL quarterback.
I would not have any damn comments. Like, you're over here laughing, looking at all these comments, and I'm like, I didn't block everybody.
No. I don't suppose you're going to mention Chelsea winning the Europa League or the Champions League final. And he's like, just kidding. On a more serious note, with Boston teams making us miserable, the only positive contribution Boston made to America was kicking off the American Revolution.
That's good stuff. That's good stuff.
I like it. That was your boy Ian. So, but no, like that's how you that's how you grab the crowd, and then you know what? Pull them right from the game. If it's a 75-yard touchdown,
from
Wentz to Deshaun, you got nothing else to prove.
You got nothing else.
You legit just put the league on notice with one play. That's what happened in '94.
Yep.
You put the league on notice. You know, there was nothing there, and there's Bill. He should be saying something anytime soon.
I don't see why I'm not, like, how come I don't have that?
You gotta go, are you in the group?
Well,
You're in a watch party. Looks like.
Yeah, you invited me to a watch party.
I did?
But yeah. Well, Nick F. Calderon.
Yeah, just go to the regular one. But, no. What are you doing? Are you putting that up? Mm-hmm. Alright. That's my little interior designer.
You mean your little bunny?
So, but you know that's me. Like that's you do that. You'll get this town right.
You have that in the chat group?
What?
In the chat group or the regular group?
I don't know where it's at.
Come on, Lahif. Get it together.
Something's on my computer. Sorry. But yeah, you take it off. You're just gonna keep walking in front of the camera. Higher ugly mugs.
I'm lying down.
You're laying down. You're just gonna be the bottom of the thing.
Yeah.
Oh, well, it's in the one chat group. It looks like. Because Bruce just tan it. Here, give me a kiss. Kiss. Love you. So, okay, it's in the chat group. There it is. That's the watch party. But I would just go to the regular, go to the main page. Something's going on with the internet today. I'm actually surprised Billy hasn't complained. He's usually the first one. What is going on with YouTube? Who's running that over there? So, and then, alright, pull it out. Let it go. Plain and simple. Yeah. Pull out.
Pull what out? What the hell are you talking about?
I'm talking about the Eagles.
Oh, I'm like, I was like, where? Who are we pulling out of? I'm like, what's going on?
No, I'm not pulling out
Just the way you said it, I'm like, holy crap, what's going on here?
My pull-out game's weak.
That's funny.
Is this coming up blurry on yours? Is this what it's coming up?
I don't know. As soon as it comes up on my screen, I'll let you know. Like, I don't know what's going on here.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. I like St. Louis. Like you said, the ratings were awful. On that Game 3 game, supposedly. You know, I really don't think no one cares about the Boston Bruins. I think more people are concerned for St. Louis and their whole Gloria thing. But other than that, I don't think anybody cares.
There we go.
I mean, I'm watching it because it's on and I like sports. So.
I mean, I love hockey. I do. The Flyers just jaded me a little bit, but I always enjoy the NHL playoffs. But what you call it? I don't know where we're at here.
We're just jumping on it. We're
Yeah,
talking about this.
I agree with you about that thing for the Eagles. I would just, first play, go for it. You connect, and then I agree. Just pull them both.
Well, I'm saying, if you connect and it's a touchdown, you just pull.
Yeah.
And if not, leave them in for the drive.
Oh, yeah.
That's me.
I definitely would. I don't know. Are you a little nervous with Wentz not wearing a knee brace?
No.
See,
everyone says... everyone, you can actually get... I know with the technology how it is today that they make, but he may wear one. He's not the first player to tear his ACL.
I know.
But he wasn't rushed back from injury.
No, not like last year.
Right.
Or he didn't rush himself, let's put it that way.
Right. He's just doing what he's doing. What else is there with the knee brace? But he wore a knee brace last year. Why would he wear one again? This injury that he has takes to get yourself back. It's almost 2 years. I think it's like 18 months. It's been 18 months. I think he's going to be fine.
I mean, he definitely looks fine. Like, I love watching the drills that he does when he's doing his footwork drills in and out of those pylons. I love watching.
Listen, if he didn't get hurt with his footwork drills without a knee brace, then I'm good with it. It's good. But no, I'll take. I don't want him in a knee brace because you're thinking about it when you're wearing it.
Right. Come on.
What's the matter?
No, I just keep getting updates on different stuff from different groups because I'm in like a million damn groups.
So, no, I think it's good. I think, I like it. No brace. It's confidence.
Yeah. That's what I do like about it. It is showing confidence that, and when he was asked about it, he just said, he's like, I don't feel I need it. I don't like it. I'm okay, that's fine. That's your call. Do what you gotta do, buddy. I don't know, it's just, I just get nervous when I see that kind of stuff because, it's like, how many times have we seen guys just running in the open, go to dart out of bounds, and pop goes an ACL or an MCL? It just happens. And I just kind of feel like that.
That's what McNabb did. He just ran out of bounds.
Yeah, McNabb, Garoppolo just did it last year. He was just running and it popped. So it happens. You're right, but I don't know. I think I just get a little nervous. It's my quarterback this time. You know what I mean? It's my quarterback, and I just don't want to. I'd hate to see him. I'd hate to see something happen because they could say, "Oh, well, if he was wearing the braces, if there's anything that goes on with that knee, and that's the first thing people are going to say."
Yeah, absolutely.
But I don't know. I'm getting excited. We're under 100 days till football.
We're at 94.
Yep. I'm getting a little antsy for it.
I'm looking forward to football. But the closer it gets to football, it just means summer's over. And summer's not even here yet.
Yeah, well, I don't do nothing for summer, so whatever.
Oh, I don't either.
For an Italian guy, I go out and I burn like a lobster, so I want to stay in the AC.
I'm good. Yeah, I'm just going on vacation in 2 weeks, and then I don't do anything until soccer starts up for Chase. And supposedly Chase is playing CYO soccer, flag football, his travel team, and fall ball. How? I don't know. If anyone's hiring for a second job, apparently I need a second job that pays 40 hours a week.
Well, I know overnights at Lowe's is hiring.
Yeah, but no. Shut up. Don't score here.
Score?
No.
Oh, come on, stop it. I'll tell you right now, if Tom Brady comes out there and scores a goal, you're like, they're winning the cup, I'm good.
Nah. I'm telling you, I hate all balls. It's like New England. It's really weird. I don't know why. I think because I'm just a fan of Brady and Belichick. Because I think because everyone else hates them, and I love them.
Yeah, I've never had a problem with them. I never did. I mean, yeah, they've had some, let's say, questionable antics, or let's call it that, whatever.
I don't care.
I just laugh at it.
That's again, oh boy, that's everyone's easy thing to go back to. Is they're cheaters. That's just being a lazy fan. They're cheaters.
Yeah, no, I agree. I agree. I agree with that. What you call it? It's, yeah, I mean, okay, people want to point out certain things, and then, but you can't take away.
Jimmy Johnson used to send his coaches up to the, to where the other assistant coaches were after their games and clean out the trash can.
Yeah. Oh, I know.
Who cares?
I know, it happens all over the NFL. It's just, they got tagged for it a couple of times or whatever. But, I mean, you can't tell me that...
They were told not to. That's kind of what it was.
Yeah, but you can't tell me that every single time Tom Brady threw the ball, he's cheating. Or every single time Bill Belichick made the absolute correct call that he's cheating. I can't... I don't believe that.
No.
And the hardcore, haters of those two will think that every single time they touch the football in some sort of way, they are cheating. And I'm like, no, they're just, playing football and coaching football.
That was like... Again, I don't try to get wrapped up in these things. Is it still going? Yeah.
Yeah, we're going.
I don't try to get wrapped up in these things, but that one football group, Tom Brady sucks. He's not a Hall of Fame player. He's never done anything. He's dinked. He dunked. It took him, it took him a field goal to win it. It took a bad play call to win this. It took this to win that. It took Atlanta choking. All right, well, you know what? They still had to score those points.
Yeah. I'm
like, Tom Brady was in his second year, and he took that team 80 yards against the Rams to set them up for the game-winning field goal. Like, I don't know. It's amazing. The Tom Brady hate, it's amazing. I guess because of social media, it just makes it more...
Oh, yeah. He 100% is the social media darling of sports. He is. I mean, because people have access to anything now. It's like we talked about this before. How the social media era has changed a lot about sports and how people are viewed. Just because a lot of people they don't like Tom Brady. Okay, fine, but like you said, it's not that he's not good. The guy came out of nowhere, and he's going down as the greatest quarterback ever. I mean, this guy himself has 6 freaking rings. How do you take that away? How do you find anything to take that away? You can't.
It's easy. Hold on.
See, I find that stuff funny.
I love it.
It's funny.
Like, you can't... People are like, oh, he's not going to do anything. What else does he have to do?
Yeah. Although now, he just lost the best player that he's ever played with in Gronk. But he's had less, and I think that is not even without question. Gronk was the best player he's ever played with.
I mean, I'm not saying he's not, but I'm like, I feel like he had a pretty good year with Randy Moss.
Okay, he had one good year with Randy Moss. One really good year with Randy Moss. How many good seasons did he have with Rob Gronkowski?
Rob Gronkowski's biggest thing is health.
Okay, but how many seasons did he have with Gronkowski? You know what I mean? I mean, look, don't get me wrong. I'm not throwing hate towards Randy Moss. I just think that Gronk is the best player he's played with.
Is Gronk a Hall of Fame player?
Absolutely.
Really?
Yeah. How can you say no?
First ballot?
I think he will be. I think he will be.
I don't know. His biggest knock is his injury history.
Yeah, his biggest knock is his injury history. But you know what trumps that? How many rings he's got on his finger.
Yeah.
And the fact that he played with Tom Brady and the New England Patriots.
Yeah.
And the fact that he's probably the greatest tight end ever. He could be. He can go down in that conversation with him and Tony J.
Absolutely not!
You're drunk.
You think he... No.
I said he could be. I did not say he is. I said he probably is.
For me, it's Tony Gonzalez and Jason Witten. Plain and simple.
Okay, then I disagree.
No.
They're the top three, but I put Gronk ahead of both of them.
Did you eat some Jake Arrieta haterade today?
No. I'm giving you my opinion.
Well,
I'm not disagreeing with your top three. I'm just disagreeing with who is number one. I think Gronk's the best one ever. I mean, Gonzalez was big. You know, he had all that athletic ability, you know, with basketball and everything. But Gronk was just different, dude. He was just different. He really was. There was just something about him that was different, and the way New England used him was a lot different than how anyone used Gonzalez. I mean, Gonzalez was huge, you know, but I mean, let's face it, how many of his touchdowns were mostly red zone?
Who?
Tony.
Not his problem.
Okay, well, Boston scored.
Shit.
No, I do. I think like Gronk did. He did a lot, man. He did a lot, and I mean he had some really dynamic touchdowns, like play wise, like for yardage. Yeah, I mean I really do. I mean don't get me wrong. His defense lacked incredibly, but he was horrible on the defensive side. Like if there was an interception or something, you know, but.
You think Shannon Sharp will get in the Hall of Fame?
He should be. I think he should be in there.
You like tight ends, don't you? I think Shannon Sharp should be in the Hall of Fame.
Yeah, no, Shannon Sharp should be.
I mean, he's got 3 Super Bowls. He's not in the Hall of Fame. I'm looking at his thing right now.
That's right. There's two of them. It's
Sterling.
Yeah.
Sterling's not in the Hall of Fame, but he was a wide receiver.
He would have been if he didn't get hurt.
He got hurt.
Yeah, he would have been if he didn't get hurt.
I gotta ask you.
What's up?
Is Julian Edelman a Hall of Fame football player?
Ooh, that one. I don't know. I mean, that's good. That's a good one. I mean, he's there. I think he's in the conversation. I don't know if he is or not.
I know.
Yeah, I mean, I think he's in the conversation, but whether someone actually presses that final vote button and says, you know, gives him his golden ticket to the Hall, I don't know. I think he's close, but...
Why? Because of his Super Bowls?
No, ultimately that's what it's going to come down to anyway.
That's not entirely true.
In today's sports
no, not in today's.
Because everyone's getting lazy with their voting.
No, not in today's. Back when like Aikman and all them were in there, that's why Aikman got in. Aikman got in because he played really good in the Super Bowl. He was an average quarterback.
Yeah.
He played really good.
Yeah, he was, but he was also part of a dynasty team.
Well, right, yeah.
I mean, so those are the factors you have to look into. So it's not just the rings, you know, but it's the consistency of the play, how the team did for X amount of years, what the person's role was, and what they did with their role on a team. I mean, so if Aikman gets in, Aikman's in as a quarterback on a dynasty for a team for his team that won what 3 Super Bowls.
Right.
All right.
Which he was a large part of.
Which he was a large part of, but you look at the overall work as that team goes together and the names associated with it. I think for a wide receiver, a slot wide receiver, I think Edelman really has a good shot. I mean, he's playing for the freaking Patriots.
All right, so if he retires tomorrow, in your opinion, he won't be first ballot Hall of Fame.
I think like second or third.
So you think a guy with 34 career touchdowns?
I just think for who
No,
he plays with. I think it comes down to the team. It comes down to who he played with. They're going to look at his performance in the Super Bowl. They're going to look at that. He's going to get the nod because of the Tom Brady factor. I really do.
I don't think he's. Yeah, because people talk about, whatchamacallit, like because he's second behind whatchamacallit. He's second behind Jerry Rice.
Who?
And like receiving catches and all that.
Who? Edelman?
Yeah.
Okay, he's going to get in right there.
So
he's going to get in right there. Without the hardware, without that, he's going to get in for that.
But again, and I know I'm switching topics, but then why isn't Schilling in the Hall of Fame?
Schilling's in the Hall of Fame.
Schilling's
not. No. Schilling's not in the Hall of Fame because the baseball sports writers are friggin' morons. Baseball sports writers are like the friggin' Vatican. They are corrupt as shit. Okay. Baseball Hall of Fame. That's where we. Yeah. No.
Oh, I hate the Baseball Hall of Fame.
Baseball Hall of Fame.
I think
is
they're the worst thing.
It's a joke. I mean, so I don't think we can actually bring that up. You know what I mean? Because we know it's a joke. Hockey, football, and basketball. Basketball too. I mean, basketball's a joke just because God. If you can do 3 windmill dunks in your career, you're in the Hall of Fame.
Well, there's two different Hall of Fames for basketball, so I get that. But again, I don't. Yeah, I don't think Julian Edelman's a Hall of Fame football player.
See, I think he'll get it.
But see, here's why. He's been in the league for 11 years.
Mm-hmm.
He's got a lot of catches, and he's got 30 touchdowns. When it comes to stats, he doesn't have the important stats. Yes, he's got 3 Super Bowl wins. Yes, he's played on 5 or 6 Super Bowl teams, the teams that went to the Super Bowl. But he's also played with the best wide receiver or the best quarterback ever. Like, I'm curious. Like if I pulled up the receivers from the Joe Montana era,
he just won an MVP in the Super Bowl too.
I know that. But what I'm saying, so did what's his name, Hines Ward.
Yeah, see, I don't think Hines Ward was special. I really don't.
Not Hines Ward, Antoine Randall.
Who?
Antoine Randall. No, I think Hines Ward was the MVP.
Hines Ward wasn't. I believe he was an MVP.
Yeah, he was. He was the
See,
MVP.
I didn't think he was anything special, and trust me, I don't think Julian Edelman is anything special. But I just think he'll wind up getting in there. I mean, that's
weird, though.
When
he's got 10,000 catches, 1,000 catches, 12,000 receiving yards, and 85 touchdowns, and he retired in 2011, and he's not in the Hall of Fame. It's to me like
that word.
And he's won the Super Bowl twice. He's been the Super Bowl MVP. I feel like that's.
I mean, that's Hines Ward.
Yeah.
He'll get there. Don't get me wrong. Hines Ward will get there.
I feel like, to convince me that Julian Edelman has to go into the Hall of Fame, for my opinion, I don't know how the Hall of Fame's voted on. But if there's writers where he's got to have at least 40 more touchdowns when he retires. He's got to be in the 60s or 70s.
Or maybe he goes out and wins a second straight Super Bowl MVP. I mean, that's all it's going to take. That's all it's going to take. And I don't look into the all the times they were a Pro Bowler or an All-Star. I hate that. I can't stand that. To me, that's no different than winning a Gold Glove.
No, if they're first team all teams for like 14 straight years because they're the best at their position,
well, that's a different story.
That's what I'm saying. Like,
Yeah, that's a different story.
like if you're second team, all team for 10 straight seasons, maybe, but you're not. To me, you're not first ballot Hall of Fame.
Yeah, I just think it comes down to again who you're playing with, the the word I'm looking for is escaping me, but it's who you're playing with, it's how well you've done, and I mean as a total team, I think that just pads
I'm
it for
kind of
you.
curious what he would do if Brady wasn't his quarterback. Like, I can't wait to see how these teams run when he's 63 and he finally retires. Like, I can't wait. I feel like he's gonna play. My grandkids are gonna see him friggin' play. I feel like.
I mean, yeah, no, it is like because you have to sit back, like what would Ed McCaffrey been like without Elway?
Right.
You know what I mean? What would McCaffrey been like without Elway? What would
McCaffrey's got 3 Super Bowls.
Huh?
McCaffrey's got 3 Super Bowls though. It's people forget that he played for the 49ers. I mean, he was like a third wide receiver, but he still had some big, not as big as catches as he did with Elway, but
right.
He played a big part in San Fran winning the Super Bowl the one year.
He did.
Well, not a big part, but he was there.
He absolutely played a part, but yeah, I do. I think Edelman will eventually get in there just for the team he's on. These guys will just go, oh, look at it. They're probably the greatest franchise dynasty ever, and they're going to go down the list of guys that Brady has thrown the ball to. And there's this guy should get in. This guy should look at this guy was an MVP. I just think he eventually gets in at some point. Like right now, yes, he's in the conversation, and he still has time to I guess you could say, put more numbers up. But I do. I think he's in the conversation, and I think just because he played with Brady, he'll get in.
Now, you know who I would like to see in the Hall of Fame for the Patriots? And I think, again, this is just me knowing my sports because I was a Patriots fan growing up. Like, I like Bledsoe and all that. And he's not in. It's Troy Brown. Troy Brown was a very underrated player. He only had 550 catches, but he also played corner.
Yeah.
He played a lot of defense.
He played defense, too.
He's got 30 touchdowns. And he's got 3 Super Bowl rings. So, that's,
I would put him in.
Just because of his everything he can do.
Yeah, he was his diversity on the field. He could play both ends. I mean, you don't see that a lot. I mean, yeah, you had those instances where Minnesota or Oakland or New England would throw Moss out there at the end of a game to play, defensive back for like a Hail Mary situation or whatever. That don't count. I mean, when you're talking Troy Brown, this guy legit played defense and would play offense.
And he was a punt returner.
Yeah, yep. I mean, so he played all 3 aspects of the game: offense, defense, special teams, and like you said, he's got 3 Super Bowls. So, which makes me laugh. Like, I'm totally forgetting about Troy Brown, and I'm like, wow, Troy Brown. I'm like, he had 3 Super Bowls? I'm like, oh yeah, the first 3.
Right.
I'm like, oh yeah, those first 3. The ones when I really didn't care. And I'm like, who's Troy Brown?
So, alright, let's get off of football. And let's talk about Fire Gabe Kapler. That's where we're at.
We're back to this?
Yeah, we're back to firing Gabe.
Do we really have to discuss that?
Absolutely.
These freaking fans.
Well, alright, so here's the thing. I was on this page. They're pretty knowledgeable. Philly's blunts. Or bunts. Whatever it is. I like them. I got no problem with them. But they just don't make sense sometimes. The guy went on a rant on how bad Gabe Kapler was yesterday because he was so predictable. Because they knew that once Cesar got on, that they were going to walk Franco and open it up, and they knew they were going to use a pinch hitter.
Right.
And they were like, I would have just left Pavetta in. I'm like, okay, so if you would have left Pavetta in, and Pavetta didn't do anything, then you would have killed Gabe Kapler for leaving Pavetta in.
Right.
I'm like, how about we talk about the fact that their runners were 1 for 21 with runners in scoring position? Like, they sucked. They got smacked around by the Dodgers.
Yeah.
Good teams get smacked around. The Dodgers have been back in back-to-back World Series.
Yep.
So, and then, so then we're going back and forth, and, like, in the guy's ideal lineup he put on, and he had like Cesar and he had Kingery playing third. I'm like, why are you not putting Kingery at second and trading Cesar?
Right.
He's like, well, let's be real. Cesar isn't this and Cesar is that. I'm like, right now, at this moment, Cesar is the best second baseman in the NL. Is it fool's gold? Absolutely.
Like, 100%.
Right. But if you can trade him now for a middle tier pitcher, like a third, like a number 3 or a number 4 to help, you do it.
Right.
And I'm like, you do it for the future. And the guy's like, well, I'm playing for now. I'm like, you're playing for now. This team is not winning the World Series. They're too young.
Yeah.
Nola's never pitched in the playoffs. Pavetta's never pitched in the playoffs. The only people who've been in the playoffs are Arrieta, McCutcheon, Bryce Harper, and I'm sure there's other people. But off the top of my head, and maybe Jay Bruce, the newly acquired Jay Bruce, which I don't know how that happened. How the hell did he? What did Clentac do to get that trade to happen?
Money.
We're paying $3 million. They're paying 18. That's some Howie Roseman shit. Howie Roseman negotiated that deal.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. Like, when you're looking at... Like, I couldn't understand, like, when you're looking to get rid of salary, how do you pay most of it off? I really don't. I don't know how they...
So, in less than...
And this is off the deal that he had with the Mets.
Right, and this is in less than 6 months. He's gotten a team to take on Carlos Santana's contract, and then he traded for a guy who was owed $21 million, and he was given $18 million to pay it. What? What? Now, I don't know if that goes against their luxury tax, but I don't think
they're $50 million under.
They gotta sign someone.
They're $50 million under the luxury tax.
Sorry, I have an itch, people. There's no one watching. Well, there's 2 people watching, but...
Yeah. Me?
But, right. But I'm like, no. I'm like, get out of here. Like, yeah, you can't do that. That's not fair.
Yeah, that's... Yeah, I was looking at it, and I was like, there's my boy, Patrick Mahomes.
Oh, yeah. All of Kansas City. Yeah, I have no idea. Other than Richard Pepe. I don't know who Bubba Wallace is. Brett Hull just had a stroke.
Jesus Christ.
He's so old. I miss June hockey. I do.
He's like, I miss June hockey.
Did you see the guy's shirt?
No.
It said, don't be a dick.
Did it really?
Yeah. That's awesome.
I didn't know John Hamm was a St. Louis fan.
Yeah.
Bandwagon!
Probably. So yeah, and so we're going back and forth, and I'm like, why? Like, you trade Cesar now if you can.
Yeah, now's the time to do it.
I mean, he's like, well, you just said that he's the best second baseman in the league. I'm like, yeah. I said, I don't say it. The stats say it.
Yeah.
Like, I can say a lot of shit. Doesn't mean it's right. And I don't know, oh, well, you gotta do this, you gotta do that. I'm like, what are you talking about?
Yeah, well, that was like the clown I heard today on the radio. I was on my way home from work. It's like 3:15. And this dude, this guy, he calls up on the Missinelli show, and he says, oh, I really think... First he starts off with, first off, I'm a Reese Hoskins fan, but I think they need to send him to the minors for 2 games. What? Why? And he's like, oh, well, he's not hitting well, he's not doing this, he's not doing that. And Missinelli's like, wait a second. He's batting .274 with 13 home runs. That's not hitting well? You know, it's not like this guy's batting below .250 with, like, 1 home run. And it made me laugh, though, because after it was over, the call was over, Missinelli brought up, God, I hate our fans sometimes. And I started laughing. I was like,
sounds like laugh.
I was like, yep, that sounds like the CEV show.
Right, and that's the thing. It's like you want to sit there and you want to bash Kapler. But why? Like, everyone wants to fire Gabe. Then who are you going to sign?
I mean, don't get me wrong. He does, I think, sometimes overmanage himself. I think he really overthinks what's happening or what he's about to, or what the right move is. But it literally, it gets me. It to take it from Peter Griffin where he says it grinds what grinds my gears. It's the fire Gabe Kapler stuff. Like, yo, they're not going to go 162. You know what I mean?
They're not. And this is what I said. Because, and this older gentleman, he says, Chris Ferdinand wouldn't be Philly's bunts if we expected everyone to agree. He's like, could you be more specific of why you did disagree with my opinion? And I said, because if Pavetta bats and does nothing, now we're killing the manager for not pitching in him. I said, and I told him, I said, being a coach and a manager of the city is a thankless job no matter what.
Yeah.
Like, you're always going to be criticized and scrutinized. And I get it. It's part of sports. I get it. People want Doug Peterson going after one season. I always go back to that. I said, people want Doug Peterson going after one season. And I look back and I said, do you just see what we dealt with 3 years with that arrogant prick and Chip Kelly?
Mm-hmm.
And you want him going after 1 year with a rookie quarterback, a running back who got hurt, a receiver who couldn't catch a cold.
It was funny that you bring that up about Peterson too, because when they hired him, I was like, wow, was he at the time? I thought, was he really on paper the best candidate? You know what I mean? When you had names like Coughlin out there and stuff like that.
He wasn't. Go ahead.
And I thought, and for some reason with Peterson, I didn't destroy the hiring. I was just like, hey, look, he's a new coach. He's a new head coach. I said,
he's going to take his bumps and bruises.
Yeah, I said he's going, and it's always in the NFL. You always have to give like an NFL head coach his first year. They get that. Okay, it's your first year. You got to get to know the team. And then look, we did the second year. You know what I mean? I told people that. I was like, no, that's where. Because I dealt with people the entire year. You got to get rid of him. Like, he was the worst hire, and I'm like, you got to let the year play out. You got to give him a full off season to implement what he's doing. I said, and see what year 2 brings. I said, now by year 3, if it's the same results, no playoffs, and Carson doesn't progress, I went, okay, fine. Then you get the rumblings. Okay, maybe he's not the guy for the job. But looking back on it, you're right. Look what happened year 2. Like, it was the perfect storm. It really was. Everything went his way. Everything was going great. And, okay, yeah, then Carson got derailed. But he kept that team focused. He kept them going. And I was like, so, yeah, was he the right hire? Looking back now, yes.
Well, me and Billy always say, I love the hiring. And I always go back to, I'm like, I don't care if he's a pupil of Doug Peterson. Of Andy Reid. Andy Reid won a lot of games for us. Mm-hmm. He made football fun. He just didn't win the big game.
Right.
And that happens. It absolutely happens. So, but anyway, I'm going back to baseball. I said, basically Clentech has to give him he's got to give him 2 bench players.
Yeah.
Because Gosling and Nick Williams are not Major League Baseball players.
No.
They're not. They're not MLB type.
No.
I was like,
that's why Williams just went back to the minors.
Right, and they got to give, 2 legitimate guys in the bullpen.
Yeah.
I was like, I was like, also whether or not everyone knew that play was going to happen where he was going to pinch hit, our players still have to come with timely hits.
Yeah.
Segura and Cesar are in the worst slump. And they just happen to be at the same time.
Yeah.
Which is why they're only 1 game out of first.
Yep.
Or they're 1 game ahead of first. And the guy's like, I would have been okay with Pavetta batting in that situation. It shows the manager has confidence in him and his ability to keep the other team down. But that's not the call.
You're right.
It's the bottom of the, or it's the top of the 7th.
Yeah.
He's went out. He gave you 6 good innings of no run ball.
Right.
You left it up to your offense. Like, I don't know what else you want. I'd say I don't know what else you want. The only thing that I would have questioned is bringing in the guy Gosling.
Right.
I was like definitely a pinch hitter, but nonetheless a pinch hitter should have been used. The problem is the Phillies don't have a real pinch hitter, and I said exactly. I said I would have loved the Phillies to get Matt Kemp.
Right.
Of course, it was like, which one? He's like, I'm guessing no Kemp. He's like, I want to get. Am I getting a good one or am I getting the fat ass one? I'm like, does it matter? He's still a professional baseball hitter.
Yeah, I mean, you can't see you can't pick and choose. That's the thing. I don't like. that's just basically a guy going, yeah, are we getting the same guy? Well, you're getting that name. You're getting a guy that is still employed by a Major League Baseball team, so they obviously think that he can still do it. Then, okay, if someone's going to give you something for him, then okay, off you go, pal.
And then you know, they're talking about that this guy, he's clueless. He just goes by his notebook. You know, he's incompetent, and so is Clintack. You know, not for nothing. You know, if you guys are watching and the people who comment on Philly's bunts, I'm not going to name your names. If you're so much better, why aren't you in baseball? They're not the only team to use a notebook. They're not the only team to pull out the card and say, where does this guy hit? Go watch some other baseball games. I was like, because everyone else does it, you're just focused on the Phillies. And that's fine. But I'm telling you right now, you're stupid. You're dumb, you're stupid, you're idiotic to sit there and say Clintack and Gabe Kapler are incompetent. Like, no, you don't know what you're talking about. We're all fans. Like, I'm giving my opinion, and my opinion of you right now is you're stupid for that comment that you wrote. Like, you tell me why Clintack is incompetent. Tell me. He traded Carlos Santana and his $20 million salary. I don't care what he does. You got rid of a $20 million salary and got a professional hitter.
Yep.
A professional hitter. You didn't get like some schlub.
Yeah.
I think he's got naked pictures of that guy with a cow.
See, and that's the other thing. I don't think a lot of people realize that there's a difference between being a baseball player and being a professional baseball player. You know what I mean?
Right.
There's a complete difference there. I mean, there's guys that have it and there's guys that don't have it, you know, and for whatever reason, they're filling a spot. The guys that don't have it are filling a spot until you find that guy that is going to, you know, be an actual contributor to your team. That's any sport. When you're a GM, you're playing chess. That's all you're doing. You're trying to find the right pieces to make the right moves. That's all it is. And you're right. When you trade that contract and Santana, and look what you got back. That's awesome. That was part of the deal. I'm sure somebody wanted saying, you know, that they were happy to get his bat in the lineup, and they're okay. You know, we'll take on that 21 mil. That's the stuff that happens. And they have confidence in Santana. Okay.
No, because they didn't trade him the next day. He got traded literally the next day.
Yeah, well, that's what I mean.
Back to Cleveland. I'm like, what?
Which made me laugh at that. Like, they took him on, so that had me thinking, okay, they took him on knowing, essentially it was a 3-team trade, is basically what it was.
Right.
Like, they were like, okay, well, we're about to, you know, we'll do this. Like, who did they get for Santana? I don't know who they got. I just know that he got traded the next day back to Cleveland. But I don't know who they got from Cleveland for him.
Yeah.
Because I don't think they would have just done it unless there was really something for them in return.
They got Edwin Encarnacion, which
Okay.
isn't a bad player.
No, he's not a bad player. So I mean that's a professional player.
Right, so, and that's what it goes back to. You sit there and you say you don't know what what he's doing, and he's incompetent, but you have nothing to back it up. Yeah, he's struggling with trying. I'm sure he's trying to get whatchamacallit. I'm sure he's. What's the matter?
McCutcheon knee.
Oh, I think he hurt his knee last night. He's not freak.
I hope he didn't hurt it rounding the bases after his homer. Ow, my ACL.
That would suck. But I'm like, he traded J.P. Crawford, who was going to be, the next best shortstop, and he sucks. And you traded Carlos Santana. I'm like, that's the fact that you got him take on the salary is amazing. Like, if you make that trade, and you say, listen, we're going to trade you Carlos Santana, you're going to take on the salary, and Seattle goes, okay, well, listen, we're going to give you our bottom 3 minor league players.
Right.
You're like, okay.
Yeah.
Like that's a trade you expect. Like you're eating up salary.
Yeah. That's definitely something to expect to happen.
Oh boy.
That don't look good.
Right there.
Yep. Oh, that don't look good at all.
Why did he stop?
Okay, so it was right there.
Yeah, when he pulled up. Probably just a knee strain. So, if I'm guessing it's a knee strain. That'll be his fault. That'll be Gabe's fault because he started him. So, and another stat is up until I didn't look it up the other day because I was really aggravated. But in his last 12 games, the Phillies are 9-3, and Bryce he's batting .320 with like 3 home runs, 11 doubles, 17 RBIs. Remember, everyone wanted to fuck. Everyone was like, "He stinks. We overpaid."
Oh, yeah. Yeah, the peanut gallery. Yeah.
Oh, I will. Unless you have anything else to say, I will say this. I don't know if you saw the whole thing with Nick Foles, with everything that happened with his wife.
Yeah, I did.
Now, this is where I commend our fans. Go on Twitter. You know, you read. You see that the coach says, you know, he's done. We'll welcome him back when he's ready to come back. This and that. So of course I read that and I was like, in my mind I'm going, something happened to his daughter or his wife because his wife's sick.
Yeah.
And I was thinking, so I put I tweeted out like Philly's thinking of you. Take care. Do what you got to do. All Philadelphia fans. Do this, do that, take your time coming back, and they're whatever their hashtag Duval is. I don't know.
Right.
I don't even know what it is. So then you have the Jaguars fans. I can't believe he's missing training camp. He's not. He's doing this.
Are they really
say
that?
Oh my God! Well, in the beginning they were.
Wow.
They were like because they didn't specify what happened, but like you're just reading like reports and when you go back and you look at all the people are saying, Philly's with you, this and that, and then when I'm gonna say when I read his wife's Instagram thing, I was like, oh, that hurt. I was like, I know he's in Jacksonville, and I know Carson Wentz is our quarterback, but he's still our boy, he's still. And then he got interviewed at practice.
Yep, I
and
saw that.
He did the thing, and then he ended the interview with "Back to my Philly family." And that's where I love our fans. I love our fans so much that you have someone like Nick Foles who's now making $50 million for the Jaguars, but he threw a little tag in there, to everybody back in Philly. Thanks for this, thanks for that. You guys are still my family. I was like, you're my boy, Blow.
Yeah, I mean, no, that's what I honestly expect from him. That's the kind of guy he is. He didn't forget about us because... Well,
he knows.
Yeah, he knows. But you know what? On the flip side of that, I wonder... Now, at least I haven't taken to Twitter to see any of it or anything, but I wonder... have you seen anything on Twitter from how the Jacksonville fans, if they have an opinion of him saying thank you to his Philly family?
Probably not. I didn't go. I read that thing and I was like,
yeah.
Listen. At that point,
Yeah.
I couldn't care because I was like, that's my boy.
Yeah. I mean, because I could honestly see if they were trashing him for not being in camp before they knew what happened. Now, granted, before they knew what happened, okay, fine. But now that they knew, but I'm wondering if some of their fans got annoyed that he was throwing Philly love out there, which I'm sure some of them probably are. Like, why does he have to go say that and all that stuff? But no, I did the same thing. I saw that interview and I was like, I got a little tear in my eye. Like, oh man, still wish you were here, buddy. But I get it. It's a business.
I was looking at there's the watch party that started in one group. And the guy made a good point, Eddie Harvey. It's Antonio Gates. Antonio Gates is hands down probably...
Wow. I completely forgot about him, and he's still playing.
Yeah, dude, he was... I
forgot about him. That's a good point.
If I totally forgot about him.
So did I.
So if I'm going my top 3 tight ends, I'm going Gonzalez, I'm going Gates, and Witten.
I forgot about him.
And then I would go Gronk. And nothing against Gronk. I love Gronk. I think Gronk's phenomenal. I think he's out of his mind. He's insane. He fucking.
That's another reason why I like the guy. He's just out of his mind.
He dented the whatchamacallit. He dented the Super Bowl trophy, like he spiked it or something.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like for me, like you know what though? Like they have 6, so it's cool. Like if he might have did that, and if you're on the Eagles to my first one, I might have words with him. I would have lost. I'm like, but dude, that's our first trophy. You don't did that.
Yeah, no. Wow, Antonio Gates, I forgot about him. Holy crap. That's a good one. So let's see. Well, you all right? Yeah, that's tough. That's tough. I mean, Gates has been around a long time too. Like I just as soon as you said the name, like wow, he's still playing. That definitely knocks. Well, that puts, let's see, so we Gronk, Tony G, Gates, Witten.
The thing with Tony Gonzalez is the knock on him will always be that he didn't get that ring. Which
True.
But I feel like he played forever.
He did play forever because he was trying to get that ring.
He played from 97 to
I mean, his last couple of
2013.
years with Atlanta. I mean, I think it was his first year with Atlanta.
the numbers did not dip.
Yeah, no, his numbers
83,
never took
70,
it. Yeah, no.
80, 93, and 83.
That's the thing with his numbers. They never faltered. Like, he never lost production. He never did. It was, like, so you can't say, like, he
I don't even know if he played in an NFC Championship game.
I don't know either.
I know they were the #1 seed one year. Atlanta was. I think it might have been, like, whatchamacallit, second year.
Well, he only played 2 years with them, didn't he?
No, he played 4.
4 years with
Yeah.
Atlanta? Okay.
Yeah.
We did bring up Shannon Sharp. The guy here, Dave, he had brought in. We did bring up Shannon Sharp. I say he gets into the Hall of Fame. Like we said that already. We were talking about that, but just so David hears it, we did bring him up. I honestly, I absolutely 100% believe he deserves to be in the Hall of Fame. He's up there. He's up there too. You know, it's funny. I think a lot of people go with Tony Gonzalez because he transcended the tight end position. Like until he came around, tight ends weren't. You know, they weren't that big in the offense.
Nah, you had.
I mean, you had some guys, but he was completely different.
Right. He wasn't. He was like athletic.
Yeah.
Like Keith Jackson. Keith Jackson was just big. Bavara was just big.
Well, they were your prototypical tight ends. They were just
Right.
the big guy that did enough to get open. You know, that was your check down guy. You know what I mean? That was your safety net, which is what Witten was for all those years with what you call it? With Romo. The same way Jay Novacek was with Aikman.
Right.
They were just big guys. Now, and I will say this, Witten was also one of those guys where, I mean, he just played a long time, and you know, he was just he was really consistent. He didn't look it, but he was athletic too. He really didn't look it, his body type, but he
He
was.
just ran you over.
Yeah. Did you ever see his workouts? How he prepares for a season and his workouts during the season?
Yeah, it's pretty nuts.
It's insane. And oh, by the way, I love how he's bald again. But anyway, oh, I'm gonna go back to football. Let me take off the other helmet. Let's throw that cat in the trash. But freaking Dallas, screw you. Anyway,
Right.
yeah, but Tony Gonzalez really transcended. Like at his time, he changed the position from his athleticism. He really did. And then when what's his name? We just said his name, Antonio Gates. Prototypical, same as Tony Gonzalez. You know, the two-sport player. You know, he was tall. He had that good vertical. He was fast. So you had essentially for a while there two of the exact same player. But then when Gronk showed up, he just changed everything. Like, they took him to a whole new level with the tight end position. And like you said, he just ran people over. Like, he was big, strong, athletic, fast, great hands. And then, like you said, get him in the open field.
He's got the NFL record for touchdowns by a tight end.
Gonzalez, right?
Nope.
Oh,
Antonio
Gates. That's right, Gates.
He's 955 catches.
Oh, he's also been playing 100 years. But no, he actually took on a big role, I think, last year because
Somebody got hurt. Hunter Henry got hurt.
Yeah, Hunter Henry got hurt, and he came back. I mean, he was on the team. He was still there, but he played his ass off. You know, for an old man, he played his ass off. I think he's close to 40.
Yeah. He is. He's been in the league since 03.
Yeah, he's been around a long time. But, yeah, so, I mean, with those top 5, all right, rank them then in the top 5, including Shannon Sharp, even though he's not in the Hall of Fame yet.
Now, are we doing it in order? Like, my opinion?
Just your opinion.
Tony Gonzalez, Antonio Gates, Witten, Gronk, and Sharp.
Okay.
But you can go back and forth with Gronk and Sharp, in my opinion.
Yeah, see, I still put Gronk number 1, but everyone else in the same order.
Really? You still have you
I still put Gronk
You
number
got some
1.
Gronk loving.
He was the Terminator of tight ends. They found a use for him, and he just changed everything.
Think about how good they would have been if they still had Aaron Hernandez and he didn't go start shooting people.
Oh man, I remember. This is funny. I know. Well, I don't know if Bill's watching or not, but I was involved in that dynasty league, that one I was telling you about.
Yeah.
And I drafted Aaron Hernandez. We had like this whole expansion draft, and I had Tony Gonzalez and Aaron Hernandez. And I was like, all right, that's a good 1-2 combo to have. I was like, man, I said, imagine if NFL teams had something like that. But I traded him, and then all this stuff came out about the murders and everything and all that stuff, and I'm like, holy shit. But yeah, imagine that, though.
I had, in the franchise league, I had Aaron Hernandez and Gronk.
Oh.
And I ended up trading Hernandez. And then I ended up trading Gronk, and I actually ended up getting like a lot of it. Like I got like a first round pick and a bunch of other things. We're actually having our fantasy draft this.
Dude, I would draft Gronk in the second round every year and trade him by the end of the draft, and get. I would wind up trading him again. I would do it every year, and I think like 2 or 3 years in a row, me and the same guy made these trades. That's this right here, myfantasyleague.com. That's what we're using for that Devi League I was telling you about.
Okay.
We're actually just finished our draft. Now we're getting ready to do our rookie and free agent draft on Wednesday.
Yeah, I like this year's rookie class blows.
Yeah.
There's nobody good.
I have the 5th overall pick for it. A guy he wants to trade. He wants to trade me he's got the first pick in the rookie draft. He wants to trade me that, and he wants to throw something else in for James Conner, because I drafted him. This is a 2-quarterback league. My first, and this is the Dynasty Devi League. My first 3 picks, I had the 5th position. Patrick Mahomes, James Conner, Deshaun Watson. I was like, I'm going with the quarterbacks.
Yeah, like my league. This is who I drafted. I had the 6th and the 7th pick in the first round, so I drafted Metcalf, and I drafted JJ from the Eagles.
Okay.
And I drafted the running back from Kansas City. People are very high on him.
Williams?
Nope. Darwin Thompson.
Oh, that. Okay.
I have Damian Williams. I picked him up last year when what's his name got suspended.
Yeah.
So I picked him up, but now it's I was looking at. Hold on. I was looking at maybe drafting Noah Brown or Marquise Brown from Baltimore, the wide receiver.
Gotcha.
But Lamar Jackson's there, and Lamar Jackson's not an NFL quarterback. He's not.
Well, what you call it? Here, hold on a second.
So, and now I'm actually on the clock, and I don't know who to draft. So I'm trying to like doing some moving around.
Right.
But it's not working. So it's so good. What's your team name?
The Outlaws.
Wow.
Yeah, I'm in. I think the name of our league is Devi Deep Dive. Oh, here we go. Our league. I didn't know I had it on here.
Oh, nice. Shit. So, all right. Well, that's really I have. We'll talk some fantasy for a couple minutes.
Yeah, I was excited to do a draft already. I was like, this is awesome. And we were doing an online draft, so it took it's been about, let's see, it took us about a week to get through the initial, NFL player draft. Because we did, I think it was 25 rounds.